Okay.
Hello, my Crystal Loves Texas podcast family. And I forgot to run my intro. Tiffany, I forgot to run my intro,
Your first
Rebecca.
time doing this, that's all. This is a
I'm not,
blooper.
I am not gonna go back and redo it.
Kenji,
I
you
guess
can have a seat.
I forgot because I'm so excited about our guests in here today. And
You can have a seat.
oh my goodness, Miss Tiffany Scales. Tiffany, you are usually with us all the time, but you guys have been so busy since the beginning
I
of the
last saw
year.
you.
Yes, I usually see Tiffany and talk to Tiffany and have Tiffany in here for something at least once every couple of months. I haven't seen Tiffany since.
Your birthday party.
Yes, yes. So that was the
Yeah.
beginning.
Ooh,
That
you
was the
said-
beginning of the year. But Tiffany Scales, I want to thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
for coming back in because we've got something to talk about today that is literally right around the corner, meaning like the weekend.
Just
You
a
didn't-
couple of days.
Yes,
You
that's
didn't
coming up.
introduce her properly. Tiffany Scales, the hardest working woman in the PR game.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she is the engagement director for Pride Houston 365. Yay! And Kenji told us he was going to get us a clapping track, but we don't have a clapping track yet. So we're going to have that the next time so we can have applause. But but Tiffany, thank you again for being here. Thank you, my trusted comrade Rebecca Williams, for being here. Guys, listen up. I don't even know where to start because there is so much coming up. I'm going to say you probably have twice as many events going on this year than last year. And if you correct me if I'm wrong, but as the weeks go on, events are even added. Yes. So where do we start? First of all, Tiffany, tell me a little bit about Pride Houston 365. Now, when I was doing my research, I noticed that this is not a new organization.
Oh, no.
Tell us a little bit about the history of Pride Houston.
So Pride Houston 365 was originally founded by a Black man who you will hear from very soon for Pride Month. I'm very excited to have him in the room with some incredible leaders from the community to talk about the history of Pride.
Wow.
He saw an opportunity and he did something about it.
Awesome.
Since that time, over 46 years, Pride has been celebrated here in Houston and has grown to be the third largest celebration in the United States.
Wow.
And it is the largest one-day celebration in Texas. We bring in more money in one day than festivals in Texas aside from the rodeo.
That is
Which is a huge accomplishment,
amazing.
right?
That's
Ooh.
amazing.
I can say
Yes.
in the last almost 12 months, Pride has been in the hands of integral leadership. And
Yes.
that has been a transition that took a lot of resilience
Yes.
and compassion and purpose.
right.
And under that leadership, Kendra Walker has cultivated a
J.
strong
Kendra Walker.
board. Yes,
Hey,
thank you, Kendra
Rissa.
Walker.
Yes.
Kendra has cultivated a strong board of volunteers.
Right.
Mind you, everybody on this board are volunteers.
Yes.
Everybody on this board is
She
I
stressed.
am a
She
volunteer.
stressed that. She stressed that.
And you know, volunteering is not necessarily something that we acknowledge to be something honorable or to be applauded, but I cherish every single person on this board who voluntarily serves.
Tell us a little bit about the board that we're looking at there.
All right, so from
The middle in the white hat.
from the middle in the white hat, we have our president, Kendra Walker,
Yes.
our vice president, Paul Pulowski, our IT director.
Is this Paul right
That's
here?
Paul.
Okay.
And then next, we to the left, well, to our left is Amara Red, who is our IT director.
Okay.
Christina Martinez is to Kendra's right, and then we
Okay.
have Jason Gallegos.
Yes.
In the back, we have our outreach director, Dexter Williams.
Is that Dexter?
Yes.
Okay.
And then next to Dexter, we have Annie Godley, who is our special events director.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then we have Glenn Dillard, who is our treasurer.
Is he related to me?
He might be.
He may be related to me. Glenn, that's not a common name. Okay, go ahead.
Then we have Tiffany Scales.
There
yours
you are.
truly.
Yes.
And then next to me, we have Shannon Baldwin, who is Judge Shannon Baldwin, very, very prestigious woman with
Awesome,
integrity in
awesome.
the community of criminal courts. And we
Yeah.
have Rain Scott, who
Awesome.
is our secretary.
That's a great diverse group.
And
And
now, not photographed is
Yes.
our fundraising director, Miss Kitty Howard. And Miss Kitty is an exceptional member. She's actually one of our oldest volunteers
wow.
by way of tenure. So Miss Kitty has been serving Pride Houston for nearly 15 years.
Wow.
And her commitment has been completely cultivated in the space of rocking rainbows and sharing love and pride.
Wow.
Yearly, every day.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's
She's
awesome.
actually the spearhead reason for our event to open up Pride Weekend's kickoff this Friday.
And Pride Weekend's kickoff this Friday is what?
Sober Skate.
Okay, hold on, Tiffany. We're gonna pull up Sober Skate. Tell us a little bit about Sober Skate.
So our Skate Sober Night is a family-friendly event. It's the official dry event of Houston's Pride.
Mhm.
And so what that means is if you are a part of the support group for AA,
Right.
Alcohol Anonymous, if you are a recovering drinker, if you
Yes.
are actively abstaining from alcohol,
Yes.
if you are an individual who's not old enough to drink alcohol, if you have kids who are under the age of 12, they can come
Right.
skate with us for free.
Awesome.
If you are just interested in seeing the board get on the floor with some skates and see if we have any balance.
on the floor,
Come
on the
see.
floor.
Oh yeah, like for real.
Yes, yes.
I haven't put on skates in 22 years, but I'm
Me
looking
either.
forward to it. Our volunteer and outreach chair, Mr. Herman Finley, actually got me some rainbow socks because we were rocking rainbows on Friday.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm so looking forward to having socks that could possibly come above my skates because, you know, I'm long.
You're a tall girl.
But
Yes.
I know that Friday is going to be an amazing experience as we end this month and walk into Pride 2024.
Right.
Well, you know what? What I want to ask you now, and we're going to come back to some of those other events in a
sure.
second, but I want to ask you now, and I think that you really need to make this clear,
Okay.
Tiffany, for the people out there who are watching, and a lot of my people who view this and who will view this don't have a whole lot of familiarity with Pride. All they know about Pride are the parades and people walking in tutus and feathers. That's all they know about. That's all they know.
That's
and
so
Pride
true.
is so much more.
Yes, it is.
It's so much more. Give us the Reader's Digest condensed version of what Pride is and what Pride is not.
Pride
Or
is
it
not
a little of all
quiet.
those things.
Pride
Yes.
is not quiet.
Okay.
Pride is not something that can be broken here in Houston. And by way of that, I'm telling you that this year's probably the best experience you have ever had because our board of volunteers, our community, our local performers and entertainers, our headliners this year are going to ensure that you enjoy your experience. This has been my job this entire time I've been in my position, and you deserve to come.
Yes.
And with that, you will experience a lot more than tutus, rainbows, and swimsuits.
Yes.
But if you want to see swimsuits, we've got that for you.
Yes.
The concept of Pride, you know, we spend a whole year raising money and awareness for celebration
Yes.
because the celebration is our biggest fundraiser.
Mhm.
And that's where I think it gets a little misconstrued.
Mhm.
We're not sitting up here going outside to party.
Exactly.
We're
That's what I want
celebrating
you to
our
talk about.
ability to be.
That's right.
Exactly. And so,
Exist.
you know,
in a fair world.
exactly.
That's right.
And so that becomes the resonant of you won't break our pride.
That's
Right.
right.
Regardless of what hat you wear, what box you fill.
Right.
No now will break your pride.
Right.
And when you can take a statement and take a stance with that statement, you can stand with that statement and truly understand the embracing of it.
Right.
I am proud to be a woman. I am proud to be a lesbian. I am proud to be Black. I am proud to be biracial. I am proud to be me. I'm proud to be an artist. I'm proud to be me in everything that I do.
Yes.
And you deserve to
And
say the same.
And you
That's
do.
right.
You
Thank
do.
Thank
Yes.
You do so well.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's what I wanted you to clarify for everyone, Tiffany, because when we turn on the TV, you know, and the media has a whole lot to do with
Oh,
that.
for sure. They show you what you're going to eat.
That's right. They want to show what's going to be the most just mind-boggling and absolutely different to see.
And you know what,
And-
Tiffany? I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry.
And that's what people think Pride is. But you correct me if I'm wrong, and Rebecca, you correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is what I hope as an advocate and a supporter of the LGBTQIA plus. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it right this time because I had to have some corrections last year. And but I hope that we can come to a day where we have Pride 365 because we want to and not because we have to.
You know, so going back real quick, because I do want to know what you were going to say. Please don't
Okay.
forget it.
Yeah.
Our friend Monica Roberts had dreams and ambitions.
Grew up with
And,
Monica.
and she
Yes.
literally was a staple who still exists
Yes.
in her spirit and her
That's
service,
right.
right?
That's right.
Last year was the very first time in Pride history that our youth of trans experience led the parade.
Awesome.
And I believe that she would have been proud
She would have.
to have seen such pride displayed
She would
in
have.
that parade and celebration.
She would have.
The things that take place in the media, the lies that are told about our service members, especially the police. I can honestly say from my own experience,
Yes.
my perspective changed when I met certain people with the department.
Absolutely.
You know, just learning that not every uniform is worn by someone who doesn't wear their badge with pride.
That's right.
And learning that and adapting to trust from trauma, as I learned from HPD.
Yes.
You know, we allow ourselves to heal.
Right.
So yes, there will be people outside who are going to adapt to the weather. It's going to be hot, so you won't see as many clothes on. Correct? I'm not going to have on sleeves.
That's right. Yeah.
But you don't see as many clothes on the beach either.
That's right.
And I want you to understand, like, because sometimes commentary is so unnecessary.
Right.
However, it will happen, but if you stay focused,
right.
The concept of the celebration is not just to be outside because it's hot.
Right.
It's to celebrate being.
Right.
And if you haven't learned to be, get past Juanita's book. If you haven't learned to own who you are, get in the mirror. But the whole point of what the LGBTQIA plus community has done for over 50 years,
yes,
is show you how to be yourself.
Right.
Without apology, without apprehension. And what the Truth Project has taught so many of us, to tell our truth unapologetically.
Yes.
Through healing. And in doing so, we are an organization who is so much more than a Pride celebration, right? Like, Pride celebration is our fundraiser of the year. We spend the entire year preparing for that fundraiser.
That's right.
All the while having engaging conversations and interactions with community, supporting other events, and showing people how working together in this collective niche allows us to exist in the entirety of our community, and not in segregated spaces.
Yes. And Rebecca, I'm going to come to you because I want you to go ahead and ask your question, and then I've got to ask you something. And think about this while Rebecca is speaking, Tiffany. The fundraiser. I want you to touch on in just a minute some of the things that throughout the year the fundraiser helps to support.
Okay. My commentary can wait. You can go ahead and answer that.
Okay, so our RISE program has been established and carried out in such a manner of integrity with transparency. Our platform has been built again over the last 46 years, but within the last few years of the leadership being involved, it's been expounded. When Kendra Walker came into Pride, all of her friends and supporters of her own businesses and organizations wanted to come support. And that's what happens when you join a board. It's because you're adding value to the organization.
Yes.
And so she did that. So Lesbians of Color is a huge participant of Pride celebration, and by way of volunteering, coming to the events, showing you how to do it right, you know, making sure that you enjoy yourself, but still having a great time. Members of our board, members of the organization have supported members of our board with events like, you know, DJ Rockabye. She's an amazing photographer. Right. She took our photos.
Yeah.
For the board.
Yeah.
So just showing how these professional women of color have, you know, taken the tools that are needed to sustain themselves and promote their businesses, and they serve the community together. So it's always cool when you come with a team and a comrade of, you know, support. Now, as it pertains to what the RISE program has done, we have been able to support 2 nonprofits of grassroots, which means that they start from the ground. Like for me, you know, I have 2 nonprofits that I started from the bottom. So individuals who have a heart of service, who have a great idea or a great niche of serving, but they don't have the platform to expound the amplification of their voices, we're able to share that with them.
Absolutely.
This year alone, we have supported organizations like Floss Inc., which is not a new organization, but they're newly introduced into other communities.
And tell me what that is.
So Floss Inc. is an organization for the Latin community who serves those who are living with HIV or affected by the impact. They help with housing, they help with job placement, they help with medication, with prevention, with education. Ilia Chino is
Don't they have that organization in Los Angeles? Because I think I read about that.
She has served. Yes, she is an international artist. She actually just received an honorary doctorate a couple of months ago.
Wow.
So Ilia Chino is the founder of the organization, and the reason that she founded this organization is because when she was a younger woman, she had friends who contracted HIV.
Yes.
And so she spent a lot of time in the hospital and in rooms with people who nobody would visit.
Absolutely.
And she saw a big need. And so that advocacy carried over into what she does today.
Right.
She has been honored and awarded certain medals and certificates that are hanging in her office from presidents and other dignitaries of the community of the United States.
Wow.
And so her organization was highlighted by Pride Houston because of the fact that our community is not just LGBTQI plus. It is literally somebody of every niche of the culture that's represented in Houston. You know, we're the
Yes.
gumbo of America. You
That's
can
right.
experience every culture here
in
in
Houston. That's right.
And so we make sure to advocate and connect with everybody who is serving somebody.
Right.
We also supported I Can Outreach. One of my best friends founded that organization.
Okay.
It's spelled with a K because her best friend from school passed away from a drug overdose.
Oh,
Wow.
And so her name was Keisha. So the K in I Can is
Right.
to honor her name. And this organization does youth advocacy for prevention of drug use, but also does rehabilitative programs for those who are transitioning from addiction.
Okay.
Very much needed here in Houston.
Yes. Yes.
We also uplifted Wellness on Wheels, which I think y'all would really enjoy, and I'm sure all of you would love to be a
Tell
part
us
of.
about it.
So Wellness on Wheels was founded by Renee Gonzalez Tuzies, and they do nature healing. They
Wow.
ride bikes outside, which is already healing.
Yes.
But they take deep breaths and they talk about what's going on, and they have conversation with other therapists from different schools and areas in the
Wow.
community, just to make
That
it
is
more
so
inclusive.
awesome.
That
It
is.
is.
That's
That
awesome.
is.
I found
And I'm not
them.
even a nature girl.
She's not. She's not a
Baby,
nature girl.
Me neither. I almost feel like outside, but I love the concept of
Yes.
healing outside.
Right.
You know, because sometimes we think about healing by isolation and completely reclusing
And
ourselves.
pharmaceutical
Exactly.
means, and that is truly a band-aid in many instances.
Yes.
But
But like you
healing
think
should
about
be
breathing,
healing. Yes.
exhausting your little stuff, trying to run up that hill,
Yes.
and then watching yourself heal up the hill.
Right.
So I love the organization. Their logo is really cute. You'll have to connect with them. But amazing how they can get so many youth involved actively, over 80 riders every time they go outside.
That's
and they
awesome.
do even longer events. They're actually a lot of them are preparing for the Alzheimer's ride.
Wow. Yes.
So it's gonna be really nice. We had an organization. I'm sorry because I don't remember the school name, but there is a school in Houston that literally is inclusive and advocates for youth of the community.
Wow.
And so they were one of our riser students as well.
Yeah. That is awesome. Now, Rebecca, your question, and then I'm going to ask Tiffany something else. Go right ahead.
Okay, before I ask my question,
Yes.
I'm going to castigate you because you did not tell me you were wearing rainbows.
I just, you know, well, no, let me tell you this.
So
I
you
know
see how she do me, y'all?
I know. I look like I walked straight here from Woodstock, but I got the whole
Woodstock,
hippie thing
y'all.
on. But that's okay. That's
It's
okay.
rainbow.
And you know, I started to bring you a little rainbow necklace to wear, Rebecca. I said, but I know Rebecca is going to already be styled from head to toe.
As always.
Yes, yeah, but that's okay. Rainbow, rainbow is of the heart. That's
For
right.
sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
So 2 things that I wanted to touch on. I had a question and a comment. So I'm gonna do my comment first. I loved how you said just be, because I was in Target, and we all know Target has its rainbow display, and it broke my heart because I saw a little boy who picked up a rainbow shirt. It was for boys, and he was just, it was colors,
Mhm.
nothing more,
Yeah.
nothing less. And the dad, and it was sad because it was like the dad, I don't know if it was the dad or the uncle, just an older gentleman, castigating him in front of everybody, saying, we don't do that. And I just was like, in my head, I was thinking, we still got a long
That's where
way
it starts.
to
That's where it
go.
starts. That's where it
Like,
starts. But
just,
Okay, so I can even match you on that statement. I was looking for some little ones to do something with celebration, and I inquired of a leader who has a group of kids who do what I was looking for.
yeah.
And her response to my invitation was, we're not involving them with pride. We teach against pride. We teach them real Christian values. I said,
Wow.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to personalize that.
Right.
You choose to teach your children and the children in your village what you choose to.
That's right.
And they will be exposed to what they will be exposed to, however they are seen to be exposed to it.
Right.
And they can address and deal with that in that due time.
right.
But if we adapt and adjust and move forward, it allows us to show what happens when our pride is not broken.
right.
But
yes.
in your allyship, in your support of the community, it doesn't take away from who you are as women.
That's
right?
right.
As
That's
people,
right.
As,
That's
as
right.
hetero repping, folk, we don't want what you got. But sadly,
But it just broke my heart.
For sure. But that is
really
definitely the message. That is what's being taught.
But you know what? Let me say this.
All due respect to those who choose to teach it, but that's
people's own prerogative.
It creates a space almost to where it's like you're creating a space where the truth becomes a hard thing to tell. Because in the event someone does find themselves not following the steps of the heterosexuals in their village, they have more tendencies of likelihood to isolate, to closet themselves, to be shamed. And if you are in that space and you have never seen someone who emulates what you feel, no shame dwells within you. It's just around you. And you don't have to personalize that because it's not in you, right? But it happens. And it is heartbreaking. And that's why we need allies.
And you know, Tiffany, let me say this. From the time that my sister and I were very, very small, I remember my mother just allowing us to be around all types of people who treated us well, who were kind, who were loving, who were inclusive, and who treated her children well.
Yeah.
Some of those people were LGBTQIA people. Some of them, the lady that gave her first job in anesthesia out of college was a LGBTQIA plus doctor back in the 1950s.
That's innovative.
Yes,
very.
But this was the person who gave her an opportunity. She never questioned this lady. Right. All she knew was the kindness that this person had extended to her.
For sure.
And you know, she went on being friends with this lady for many, many years. When she got married and we were born, we knew this lady and we would go visit. I mean, it was just the kind of thing that was just it was
of Holiday's heart.
Yes, exactly. And you know, it was never a matter of this is what this is and you don't do this. You allow people around your children who treat your children kindly, who mean good for your children, regardless. I can't think of at any point when I was a little child, if I wondered what that lady did when she went home and closed her door. And
you were keeping your place.
That's right. And it didn't matter to me.
Right.
And that's the thing. And that's why I can say that, you know, that is something that is truly the adults' issue and not an issue of the children. But here's the thing. No matter where your children are, no matter who they are, they will have that experience at some point in their lives.
For sure. And that's why I say bring your kids to skate because on Friday we're going to have clothes on as a community. We're going to have on skates.
Her realness is so authentic. I just love it.
We're going to have on skates. DJ Crazy Chris is going to be jamming and dancing because, you know, her energy is just always a high vibe. And we're going to have a wholesome good time. And that's the greatest opportunity to introduce your children to community so you can have that conversation at the table and break the barrier of all that, you know, monotony of not knowing how to connect with them.
Right.
Because when you come out the bag with what you're not going to support, what you're not going to uphold, that is your prerogative.
Absolutely.
But you are breaking the chains of connection.
That's
an enslavement of its own. When you open the door and you say, how do you feel about this? And what do you know about that? It allows you to expose yourself to what they've been exposed to, as opposed to them learning to be quiet around you.
And again, Tiffany, I'm going to go back to this, and maybe I'm oversimplifying it. Let me look at some of these comments. We got some comments here, but I hate that we have not, that I have to keep going back to this, Tiffany, but I do not care what my friends do when they go home and close their door. I have never asked a friend, not that in the 60 years that I've been on this earth, I have never asked heterosexual friends, queer friends, never ask anybody what they did when they go home and close the door.
And that's the weird thing. Like, why y'all think LGBT has everything to do with sex?
That's right.
We are doctors, we are lawyers, we are people of service, we are teachers, we are educators, we are literally making things go. And at the same time, Pride
you wouldn't know anything unless somebody told you that.
Right. Like Candace Joseph says, connect with Pride Houston. If you want to know where to go have a good time, if you want to know what organization can help you find support, if you want to know how to get relief from this storm we just had or the one we're about to prepare for, if you need to know who to talk to about events, a good DJ,
Yes, because I was
artist.
so hurt when I missed the fashion show, because they'll tell you I'm a fashion girl.
Baby.
So
June
when
26th,
I
boo.
missed the fashion
Yes.
show, I was
know, that
so
was sold out.
hurt.
I don't want
Oh
y'all to
my
be sold out this
God.
Oh
time.
no, we're gonna be sold out. Yeah, better get
No,
your tickets.
that's what I want to do. I want to get my ticket early.
Pride Houston.
Can we- and can we-
/RTR. Rock
And we
that
can
runway,
and
baby.
we can interview some of the people there. Can we?
Yeah.
We'll make sure.
Yes.
Okay. Linky Love says the older generation can be part of the problem. Can be.
But you could be part of the
Can
solution.
be. Can be. Many times, older people. I'm going to say, I'm part of the older generation. The older generation can be part of the problem. However, the older generation can also be a vital key to the solution.
And you know what? My dad admitted that. We had a conversation.
Yeah.
He's 80.
Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
He admitted that.
He's
He
how
said,
old?
He's 80.
80.
He said a lot of things that I just didn't grow up with.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And he said, and in a lot of my ways and the things that I've said, I was wrong. You know,
And to be able to
Yeah.
admit that.
yeah, he
Yes.
said I was wrong,
That's
but
right.
it's just it's hard because we've gotten into discussions, and he said it's just hard for me to see it because when you've grown up in a time like the 40s,
That's
and
right.
the 50s,
Where it was hidden.
where
Yeah.
was
But it
hidden.
existed.
But it existed.
right? And he
Yeah.
said that. He
Yeah.
said that where it was existed. It ain't new.
Yeah.
But he said you grow up. Now he was never homophobic or anything. Had homophobic friends.
yeah.
But he said just conversations that he should have shut down and didn't.
That's
Yes,
right.
Candace was the host on the red
Yes,
carpet.
yes. Candace is the host of every red
Everything.
carpet.
Candace,
I
you
love
don't
it.
count anymore. You're just gonna automatically be there.
I mean, for sure. Been supportive. But no, seriously though, Pride is a resource. We got a call one day at midnight. Somebody called our president's phone asking, I don't know how to come out. I don't know where to go.
Wow.
Right?
But
that's
that's an
who we're
important
serving.
call. That's
who
right.
we're
That's an
serving.
important
That's why
call.
we do this.
Yes.
And you got individuals who are scared to go get tested.
Right.
We help
Still,
our youth.
even today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to go sit with you.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hold your hand and wait
Yeah.
on you to get those results because the presence of pride exists even when you're not proud of your experience.
Right.
Okay. And at the same time, everybody's walk is different. Some people
Right.
don't come out the closet until after they've lived that normal experience that they were taught or confined in. And then you got folks who break free and are just themselves from the beginning. And there's no shame in that. But regardless of where you are in your walk, you deserve to come celebrate.
And that's one thing I
June.
respect so much
Yes.
about the LGBT community. God, there's so many things I respect about the
Yes,
thank
LGBTQ
you.
community. But one thing I definitely respect about the LGBT, it's you guys, you stick together no matter what the differences are. Like I had an argument with one of my friends, and I told them, I said, they was like, well, they get everything and da 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 da, and it seems like everybody bends towards them. I said, no. They have one ingredient that some of us still have not learned. They stick together, and you're not going to play in their face. That's the difference.
For the most part. For the most part.
Not
Not-
to mislead.
Mhm.
Not everybody in every community works together well.
Right.
Not everybody is in agreement. But the agreement is everybody deserves to enjoy their experience.
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
not going to impede on yours.
Right.
That's right.
Leave me alone.
That's
That's
what I'm
right.
saying. That's what I said.
Yeah.
They're not going to allow you to play in their face.
No.
They're
That's
just
right.
not.
Because you won't break our pride.
That's right. Now, Tiffany,
Yeah.
let me say this. And one thing, and when I spoke to Kendra today, she said she is gonna come on in June because she has some things that she
Oh, baby, she gonna
wants
talk to
say.
you.
Yes, and she always does. And I love that. But I want to go back and I want to reiterate something.
Okay.
When this kind of, for lack of a better verb, fell into her lap last year, when it kind of fell into her lap, she didn't have much to work with.
No.
Okay. And she
She
told
said
us
it.
about the budget
She
that
was
she
honest.
had. But you said, it's so important to have volunteers, but it's so important to have volunteers who are committed volunteers.
Right.
Her volunteers were committed, and they told her, regardless of, because she said she had some doubtful moments.
Yeah.
And she said her volunteers had to come to her sometimes and say, look, whatever it takes, we're going to make this happen.
For sure.
We're
Yeah.
going to make it happen. And when she saw how that group of volunteers from her organizations came together
For her.
because it was her,
Respect.
because it was her, and not just a respect, but a love.
For sure.
a love for her.
But I mean,
because she's a genuine person.
you
Yes.
have to respect somebody with
Yes.
that level of transparency.
That's right.
I mean, the transparency and the servitude.
Right.
It's some people who have the wherewithal to do things, and some people who are truly walking in martyrdom and don't
Yes.
excuse being tired, don't
Yes.
excuse
Yes.
their body being averted to the heat,
Yes.
don't excuse their health. They figure it out, they
And keep it
show up,
moving.
and they keep moving.
Right.
That's right.
And but
Kendra
what
Walker.
what took
Yes.
me with my takeaway from her was the transparency.
For sure.
Because she did not have to sit up here and tell us about her budget issues. She didn't have to tell us her reaction to people and vice versa, their reaction to her.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
very transparent about every step of the way. And the only thing that I could possibly think of in that moment is that that's passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
That's right.
When you can sit and be vulnerable about something you love,
Yeah.
you take that and go the extra mile with it.
Yeah.
Whoever's with you or against you.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get it done.
And you're gonna get
one
it
thing,
done.
And one thing that Kendra gave us a little bit of her backstory, and
Oh, it
thing
was
that
funny.
one thing that was so admirable to me is that from the time that she was a little girl, I think she said she was in middle school or
Mhm.
maybe a freshman in high school when she got her internship. Was it with NASA
Mhm.
or something like
yeah,
that?
she's a genius.
Okay,
y'all.
okay,
Lady, her mind is amazing.
But and she was, even though she was from a small town,
Jackson, Mississippi.
yes, she
The
said
silk,
her parents
baby.
her parents never ever put it in her mind that it was something that she couldn't do.
Right.
She always felt like whatever it is, she could do it.
Yeah.
Even being an African American person from a small town in Mississippi,
Right.
she never doubted that she could do it, and she just
She's the
kept
epitome
that-
if she believes she could, and she
yes,
did.
yes,
She do.
yes,
She does.
and prior to last year, now I watch the news and I'm pretty adept to what's going on. If I'm not mistaken, the Pride Parade only consisted of maybe a parade.
Last
And-
year.
No. Before Kendra got it. Okay. Then when Kendra got a hold of it, there was a fashion show.
Oh yeah.
There were events. There were
fundraisers. Real fundraisers.
There was a parade. There were all kinds of things. And she was able
She was a special
to,
events director
Yes,
for years.
and
Yes.
she was able to do all of this. Just that's called the how many fish? How many fish?
Yeah, she fed the whole community with
she
that.
did.
Yeah.
She really
And
really
I,
did.
before she came along, I used to think, as much as I love y'all, I thought that's all y'all did was,
Everybody did.
you know,
The parade.
parades
That's all the media
and-
shows.
you know,
That's all the
I
media
knew.
shows.
Well, that's the thing though. That's so the media gets the media gets paid off of advertisements. People advertise where their logo, their brand, their
Right.
vision is going to be seen.
Yes.
The parade is so big.
That's right.
It's the largest in Texas.
Yes.
It's the third largest in the United States.
Right.
Now, what I learned being on this board, it ain't 50 parades. There's not a parade in every state of America.
Wow.
How sad is that? You got some people, like literally people come to Houston
For the parade.
to celebrate their pride because they can't do it in their hometown.
Is there one
Still today?
Is there one in Florida?
Yes.
There is. Miami. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando has a huge one.
Some of the bigger states with
But y'all
more
are from
presence,
Florida.
they
Yeah.
have a pride in multiple cities. We have 9 prides in Houston. We have a pride in San Antonio, in Austin, in
Wow.
Dallas, but the bigger states have the presence,
The multiple,
right?
yeah.
But Houston is the third largest in
Wow.
the United States, the largest in Texas. And what's so incredible is that when the media does show up, they see us.
Right.
Yes.
Now, the ones who are present in the room when we go to the pool party, you see us having a good time. You
Yeah.
see us with our incredible entertainment. You see us in the bodies we've been working on all year long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And the bodies we've embraced with these roles, like
Yeah.
the unapologetic space of our
That's right.
existence. When you come to the fashion show,
Yeah. I was so
one of
sad I
my
missed it.
friends, one of my friends is
Uh-huh.
one of the designers this year.
Wow.
And I'm so excited for her because I have watched her bloom. This
Wow.
woman does not use patterns. And so when you see, I'm gonna show you when you come. But
she
when
creates freehand.
free hands,
Wow.
and when you see the work and the labor behind these individuals, they live and breathe what they create.
The passion. Yes.
It is truly passion. Our
That's
community,
amazing.
like when I say our community, I mean all of us. Like
That's
you're the
right.
plus.
That's right.
All of us do something. But like
Yeah.
the artist in me, the advocate of art in me, I am elated to see what they create in these spaces and the pride that we take in how we present
Yes.
ourselves. That's what's important. I don't know anybody who represents this community and goes outside looking foolish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't see
And,
it.
and if you don't know what to wear, call Noah John. Get a pair of his shades.
Yes.
Get him to make you a custom out a piece and show up and know that you're gonna be on camera, because we have donated cameras. The 360 camera is gonna be the first hour of the
Wow.
event, so you can be a part of the replay of what happened. But VIP is very affordable, and that's another thing.
Yeah, it's affordable.
The attendance of Pride, again, it's a fundraiser. You coming to anything to do with Pride, you being a vendor at Pride, you being registered in the parade, it is a tax write-off.
Wow.
Now, if you're late to the game and you got to pay $2,500 to be in the parade right now, it's still worth it, because you're gonna get more on the return of your investment by writing off that donation and by being on ABC 13, Amazing 102.5, 97.9 The Box, Mix 96.5, 104 KRBE, and all of our community supporters that are going to be on there. On top of it, all these hundreds of thousands of phones going live. You can't tell me all them ads you buy have returned any bit of your investment. I'm going to post at 10 o'clock. Who sees that?
Yeah. And people are going to watch the parade
replay.
over and over and over.
It's the replay.
And
yes.
So with that in mind, tell us about Pride Market.
Okay, so
Pride Market kickoff.
Tell
us, what is that?
Carbide Brewing is a beautiful beer garden
facility.
Okay?
It really is.
And they allow us to use their space for our Pride Market kickoff. We will be honoring the Grand Marshals.
Okay.
They will be being gifted from the community and our board for our appreciation of their service to the community.
Okay.
We are going to have several vendors in the community who produce and serve community. Listen, my mouth just watered. Shout out to Easy as Pie. This lady makes she makes these snickerdoodles that make you want to snickerdoodle. Like she puts caramel candy in the middle.
Oh, girl, my back already big. Please stop.
First of all, just go swimming. But like if you get on that treadmill or the elliptical and you put the little hat on with the string, you just like take a bite. Those cookies are ridiculous. But like our vendors are the best, right?
So can people still become involved, or is that closed? Okay.
Yes. So the event you see right now, Skate Sober, you can go online and pay $10. You can pay $15 at the door, or if you have children under 12, you can register for free. Harmony in Motion. Now that's going to be at the Ranch Houston. That is a lesbian-owned ranch over 2 acres on the south side of Houston. We're doing yoga and sound bathing. Now we are kicking off Pride sober. We're going to enter the first day of Pride Month with Harmony in Motion. We're going to learn some techniques on how to zen ourselves.
That's yoga. Okay,
And then our Pride Market kickoff, we're going to be at Carback with the beer garden and these beautiful vendors. So if you don't want to drink alcohol, they have non-alcoholic opportunities.
Right.
But if you partake after church on Sunday, have some fun.
Okay.
It's going to be amazing. Tickets are online. You can go to pridehouston365.org/events, or you can just click on our pages and all of the links take you to where you need to go.
Okay.
But we have other events going on.
Yeah, I was looking at Soaked. What is that?
Soaked is exactly what that is. So we have so many people who come to Houston for Pride.
Right.
And so we have 3 host hotels.
It's a destination.
It is. We have 3 host hotels.
It's a vacation.
It is. Oh man, look, the whole week, June 22nd to June 29th is a vibe. So June 22nd, our host hotel, House Heights Houston, they are hosting our pool party. We've got amazing DJs, amazing vibes, amazing decorations, entertainment, beautiful folk. It's going to be something really, really beautiful and inclusive for everybody.
Okay.
We also have discount codes. So if you go online to our website, click on hotels, or even pridehouston365.org/hotels, you'll see the opportunities of which hotel you want to stay at, for which part of the week that you're going to be here. I recommend going to all 3 of them.
Okay.
We have events at Kiki's. Kiki's is one of our great sponsors, and Kiki's and Buddies is a sponsor for the concessionaire for the liquor that's going to be served at the celebration, right? And so we're really appreciative to Christopher Berry and all his support over the years of Pride Houston. We're going to have our Grand Marshal kickoff. Okay. This is a day party on June 16th. We have some events that are taking place. You'll see online. We're going to be at the Houston Dynamo Dash on the 15th. We will be at the Astros game on the 25th.
So this is really like a Met, New York Met weekend.
It's a month, baby. a month.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's the whole thing.
It's the whole month of Pride.
shebang.
Fashion
I'm
week.
telling
It's the
you,
whole
yes.
shebang.
Fashion month.
Listen.
Yes.
But the fashion show is Rock the Runway, and when I tell you this is something that, like, first of all, the food. Shout out to Trinidad and DeCarmen.
Yeah.
Our food vendors at every event. Trinidad and DeCarmen are going to be the food vendor at Eden, which is our Girl Plus party.
Okay.
Keys Cravings is one of the food vendors at Rock the Runway.
I was calling her Kai's Cravings. Keys Cravings.
Man.
Keys Cravings.
Keys
Okay.
Cravings. You got to order some crawfish on a Sunday.
Yeah, I saw.
My bad,
I
baby.
always see
I
her.
sucked the head and double dip the juice.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I always
My
see
bad.
her post
My
the pictures. It's like, Okay.
It's
Yes.
delicious.
Yes.
It's delicious. But no, we have so many things going on, even the festival.
And you know what? Because I'm looking at our time, we got a surprise coming up. I'm going to save those two to the end.
Okay.
But speaking of the entertainment that's going to be going on, Tiffany, I'm going to come over here and tell us about the young lady that we see right here.
This is Brooke Eden. She
Yes.
is one of the country entertainers coming out. She's actually an out lesbian, so we're happy to have her come out and celebrate Pride
Is she
with us.
Texan?
I don't know where Brooke is from.
Okay.
honestly, but she's an international artist.
Yeah.
She's loved
awesome.
everywhere.
Awesome. And she will be on
The main stage at the festival.
June 29th,
Yes.
on Saturday, June 29th. And then we've got
DJ Easton. So DJ Easton is one of our festival performers. You're gonna have a great time listening to the mixes that they produce.
okay, very, very good. And
And like y'all got a wide array of everybody.
Oh, but you haven't
ripping the
seen-
whole entire
you
community.
haven't
This
haven't
is Kayla
seen
G.
the-
Let me tell you something. Kayla G gonna get you right. Your back won't be big by June 29th if you do her videos.
Oh, she's a workout.
Yes.
Oh my
She'll teach you how
gosh.
to twerk, how to rule your booty, how to move that back, and she raps. So
And
she's
look at her-
actually
look at
opening
her-
for our
look at
headliner.
her arms.
She's
Oh, her
an
arms are
amazing.
great.
Her strength is beautiful, and while
Yes.
some people only see the picture, read the post. Her captions are so
Yes.
transparent.
Yes.
You'll learn to respect people for who they are and how they are when you
Yes.
read the post. Read her captions.
Let me go to this one. A lot of people will recognize this gentleman.
Now, David Archuleta was on American Idol as a young man and recently came out, which made all the gay boys in Houston happy. And so we are so excited to have him coming out as one of our
Yes.
festival entertainers.
Yes. And last but not least, this is going to pull a huge crowd.
Oh, yes, K. Michelle. So K. Michelle,
Yes.
Kayla G is opening for K. Michelle. And we're
Okay.
super excited because K. Michelle is, of course, a staple entertainer that everybody in the community loves.
Yeah.
She's very versatile.
Yes.
And so she's bringing quite a bit of mix with her
And she's
entertainment.
also. Is she?
I don't know her business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just know she loves us.
Yeah. Okay. So this time, let me tell you, you guys did not you pulled out no stops
Oh, for sure.
in getting the entertainers out. And you've got such a wonderful variety. You've got
Our
pop.
host is Muffy Vanderbilt. Okay.
Okay.
Muffy,
Wow.
we love. And,
Yes.
and Muffy said, my birthday month is coming and I want to do this. I've always wanted to do this. And I'm like, well, you know
Wow.
what happens when you ask early?
Yes.
We're going to be so excited to see representation on this
Mhm.
stage at this festival in front of our city hall
Yes.
because representation matters.
It's going to be
And when
in
you
front of
see
City
you-
Hall.
Yes.
Okay.
901
Yes.
Bagby.
Tell us about June 29th. What time?
So
Starting.
the festival is from 12 to 6.
Okay.
Celebration of the festival, like we're going to have DJs literally at noon. You want to come early, hydrated, and cool.
But there will be food vendors out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have food vendors throughout the venue of the capacity of the space. If you want more information, visit the website, or email info@pridehouston.org.
Carissa says, I want to be there so bad. I got something to say.
Say it, say it with your chest.
Text it. Type it to us, Carissa.
When are we having her on
yeah,
the show next week?
She's gonna be she's recovering. She wasn't feeling great, so she said, I'm sending my general in charge, Tiffany, but she's going to be on here before the end of June. She's got to fit it into her schedule. But we've got several things that we want to ask her about too. And I sent Tiffany a message and Carissa a message asking a question about something that I saw that was a little bit interesting to me. Yes. And you remember when I sent that to you?
Yeah,
I said,
know.
this is interesting. Is this you? And Tiffany said,
Be
nope.
smart. Check the mark.
That's right.
Now, I will tell you that if you go to Pride Houston HTX on Instagram, you will see a lot of our local entertainers that are going to be performing. One of my longtime friends,
Yes.
I have known since they were about 15 years old. When they were saying that they were 17, they were not.
Are y'all trying to get into a club? Probably.
We did get into the club. Thanks, big yo. But no, he is an out trans male who is a rapper, who is an amazing lyricist, who will be performing at the festival. Shout out to Taz the Realist. I actually am gonna be announcing some really wonderful things with Taz and his partner for the month of July. But in June, he's gonna be performing for the first time for Pride. We're so excited. Shout out to Carrie. Carrie was an American Idol recipient.
Yes.
For Montrose Idol. Okay. And so, excuse me, not American Idol, but she is a Houston Montrose Idol, which means that her talent was chosen and selected because of her performances with Montrose Idol, which is a celebration where, you know, we take the top talent in the community and we let them have the stage.
Are you doing poetry at all?
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to be performing.
Oh, y'all messy.
No, I'm just curious.
I will be.
You are an amazing. You are an amazing artist. You're an amazing performer, and
that's why I asked.
I will be accompanied.
You will.
I will be accompanied by some really amazing artists, and so it's going to be a nice.
On June 29th, on the stage. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome.
I also have something to say about another performer, y'all.
Tell us. And
Tiffany. It hasn't been announced, but because you're watching this, you got access.
Uh-oh.
One of my favorite vocalists in this city is Miriam Rattler.
Okay. Yeah.
And her band will be on the stage. And I'm so excited because, oh my God, she's that is she's such a supportive ally to the community.
Yes.
One of her closest friends, Kevin Anderson from the Truth Project, who is our male identifying Grand Marshal.
Okay.
Shout out to all of our Grand Marshals. We love all of y'all.
And how many are there?
We have a male identifying Grand Marshal, Kevin Anderson. We have our female identifying Grand Marshal, Joelle Espute from the Normal Anomaly.
Okay.
We have a non-binary, non-gender conforming Grand Marshal, Odyssey. I don't remember her last name. Please excuse me, but it is on our website.
Okay, that's 3.
We have a few others. Our honorary Grand Marshal, Patrick McIlvain. Now, I gotta acknowledge him out loud because I remember his whole name. Please excuse me, because the other ones are really amazing too, especially our trendsetter, Olivia. That girl is ridiculous. Like, first of all, she's only 21.
Wow.
You would be so proud as a history teacher.
Yes.
Because she's taking history forward. Okay.
That is awesome.
But this year was the first year ever that we made legacy. So Patrick McIlvain made legacy because his mother was a Grand Marshal honorary.
Oh, really?
And she was a huge advocate in the community.
Yes.
And there are pictures of her protesting.
Wow.
From when she was probably his age now.
Yes.
And so she has since transitioned, but when he was honored as the Grand Marshal at our May 5th experience with Axelrad, he had this huge portrait of her to receive the honor with him. And it was just so beautiful. And I'm like, it's amazing because this man's got 40 years of service.
Yes.
I'm barely pushing 20, but I aspire to be in such a space with people who have been serving communities so diligently. And his good friend, which was one of our previous Grand Marshals, Deb Moncrief Bell, who is of KPFT for Queer Voices, she got to introduce him. I mean, like,
wow, our
community is just absolutely rich in culture and diversity.
That's awesome.
And in truth.
That's awesome. And the thing about it is, I'm going to go back to this.
Okay.
Won't it be absolutely mind-blowing when this type of celebration can be done just because we want it and not because it has to be.
It's a necessity.
Oh, but see, right now it is. You're right. Hopefully it's not.
We will get to that place.
But there was an article put out that 46% of individuals in the LGBTQI plus community do not come out because of fear of the being chastised at work.
Yes.
And I know firsthand.
Or even in their families.
For sure. Yes. But especially at work. And that's why it's important because, because some people in the community don't understand why we accept donors from corporate, right? Well, the inclusive companies who do care about community, who are inclusive about all representation, we want you to know where to go apply and what to buy.
That's right.
But we also want you to understand that it does not happen overnight with no problem. Like, it costs money to get those fences, to get security, to get the EMS, to get the hydration stations, because nobody's selling water on June 29th.
That's right.
Our water is donated.
Yeah.
Or we're coming out of pocket.
That's awesome.
And so we're really supported by individuals who see a need, but we're also hoping that, with harmony and motion and, just certain things that we're allowing people to have access to, you'll embrace the process of taking care of you while you enjoy your experience, because pride is what we do 365. And until we can incorporate that across the board, for now, while you got access, enjoy yourself.
And I want to give a personal, a personal testimonial, a little bit. I have a relative who is part of the LGBTQIA community. And this is a relative who is, I'm going to say, maybe 20 years younger than me.
Okay.
I remember when this relative was born. Beautiful, beautiful little girl. And she grew up very, very great in music and just very talented. Absolutely beautiful. Now, my background was in pageants, right? So
that makes so much sense.
Wait a minute,
diva.
And mine was in plus size modeling.
Wait a minute. I'm going to make
y'all make so much sense now.
I
understand your personality.
Rebecca has met my cousin, but my background is in pageants. And as I saw this little girl growing up, I said, my gosh, she plays these instruments just so well. I used to tell her dad, I'm going to get her prepared. I want her to be on the Miss America system so that she could be in pageants. And she would always say, no. She said, I'm kind of shy. No, that's not me. That's not me. Okay, long story short, her dad passed away. But after her dad passed away, she wrote a letter to her family. And at that point, he said, I now want to be known as, I'm going to use the name Joe. And I identify as male. And I have never felt so in my own skin as when I became Joe. And then I went, duh, that's why Joe did not want to be in the Miss America pageant. Yes, sure. Joe did not want to be in the Miss America pageant. But let me say this. I think the reason that I embrace my allyhood, if that's a word, I don't know, allyship, yes, so much is because I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Joe may not be with us if Joe did not make that choice.
I agree.
And I'm so glad that Joe made that choice. And I've tried to get Joe to come on and share his experience with us. But he says, when I'm comfortable, I'll come on. And I believe that he will. But I said, Joe, your story is going to be the story that saves someone's life.
Yeah.
And last year, when you came on, and I can't remember if it was the same. I don't think it was the same time that Carissa came on, but when Chance came on.
Oh yes,
Chance came on and shared his story, and young people who are walking in that space right now need to be able to see men like Joe and Chance and others who are out there be able to live their lives, and the happiness and the smile that you see on Chance's face. And when I look at Joe now, Joe has a band, and Joe's band is just flourishing.
And see, I wish I had a story like that. Mine is kind of on the opposite end with one of my closest students.
Yeah.
And he's getting ready to go to high school this year. And it broke my heart. I mean, I was literally at work in the bathroom, just tears in my eyes, because he was like, well, I'm not gay no more. I said, excuse you? I said, you was the one that picked out my lipstick, that pretty red.
Oh, come on, Red.
Mm-hmm. He picked that out.
Okay.
I said, what do you mean? Long story short, his guardian told him that he was not going to heaven, that he was not going to do that. He was not getting any Christmas gifts. They were totally isolating him if he didn't get his life choices together.
That's what makes kids run away.
If he didn't get his life choices together.
Yeah.
And he confided into me, I don't want to be dirty anymore. Like, literally, this is what
a child said.
a child.
Repeated.
Yes.
And I was trying to figure out why his behavior had gotten so out of control
That
nobody could,
handle them. Yeah.
Yeah, it just, Tiffany,
Y'all.
it just,
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah.
I have been in rooms that other people have not.
Yeah.
With the arts advocate, I was a vendor at a middle school, a magnet school in Aldine ISD. And the counselor came to me and said, I need to talk to a student.
Yeah.
Student did not want to be called her anymore.
Right.
Wanted to be operating in a space of non-binary, non-gender conforming. I saw 6 bathrooms. I said, can you not appoint this bathroom as the one that they can go to? Because I don't understand why you want them to go to the bathroom when everybody's there. But, just the, I'm grateful to have been in that room.
Right.
I was in a room in a middle school in spring, and I was told by staff that the child used to go by her because the mother was ill and told the twins that they were opposite sexes because the mother transitioned. And I'm like, okay, so you're just going to assume that she has mental illness and appointed her children different genders because that's what we have to deal with. We have people in position who are constructing narratives that are not conducive to the sustenance of our children and our future. However, with Joe's story, sometimes it's not about exploiting it. Right. It's about the fact that you hold space to listen to it. Yeah. And that is something that I celebrate and accept and appreciate. Yeah. With your student, I'm sorry. Because to hear something you can do nothing about,
and all that you can do that. All you can do is pray.
I am so sorry.
He's so sweet.
I'm so sorry.
All you can do sometimes is pray.
He is so, it's my heart. So for me to hear that come out of his mouth,
all you can do is pray that that kid can make it through.
When you get this video, when you get to this video and you get to this message and you see how much people care about you, and any child who doesn't have a teacher like this or a cousin like this or a leader like this in your life, you got access now. You can inbox, you can send a message, you can make a phone call.
Absolutely.
You have access, but you're not dirty because you choose to love the way you choose to love. You are not wrong. You are not to be ashamed of who you are. And if you are in a space where you cannot safely be yourself,
reach out.
Deep breaths.
That's right.
Take you some deep breaths. Slowly exhale.
Right.
Know that that is not your story and that is not your truth. And as soon as you can get to safety and be yourself,
there's a world waiting to embrace you.
Indeed.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, guys, I'm looking at our time. Candace says yes. Thank you, Candace. Look at Candace's little hands going up like that. Thank you, Candace. Y'all, I think that we've said a whole lot, but you guys are going to be sharing more with us from Pride 365 throughout the month of June. Yeah. Tiffany, if someone needs to reach out in order to get information on vendorship, on sponsorship, on being there on June 29th to support, how would they contact you?
Okay. 832-683-6470, tscales@pridehouston.org. For general questions, info@pridehouston.org, or visit the website, www.pridehouston365.org.
Rebecca Williams, Tiffany Scales, the wordmatician.
Yes. Yeah, that was the word.
Yes. And the engagement director for Pride Houston 365. I want to thank you so much for coming out. Okay, Rissa, we're going to get you out as soon as you feel better. She says, from my sick bed. I'm so proud. Yeah. We're going to get you out as soon as you are well. And please feel free to bring with you anyone else that you feel would have some impact to share with people what Pride really is.
Because we're celebrating with y'all all month.
That's absolutely
365, baby.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And Rebecca, Tiffany, like we say every week, we can do it. See you later.
Guys. See y'all next week.
Happy Pride 365.
Thank y'all so much for always being supportive.
You are welcome.
We appreciate the platform.
We love you.
We love you guys.
I feel like Tiffany is the second niece that I never
y'all
had.
And they're so funny off camera. Too bad y'all can't hear some of these jokes.
Bye guys.